There's the lineup: Barbados, Grenada, Guadeloupe, British Virgin Islands, Bahamas, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and Haiti.
Uppermost in Neely's mind in both of the interviews was about winning the medal for Bahamas. Country first, as always with him.
Fantastic. Guadeloupe will go in lane number 3. Melody Melfort, 356, will be on anchor for them. Alika Harewood to lead off for Barbados. 8 teams in the final. There's Shania Douglas, the anchor leg for Jamaica. She's already won the 100 meters. She is favored for the 200 meters. She would love to leave here with triple gold, which would mean helping her team to the 4x100 gold medal. Let's start in lane number 8 with Haiti, and in lane number 7 Trinidad and Tobago with Joseph, Soleil Frederick, Theodore and Sanaya Frederick. The Jamaican team: Sabrina Docker, last year's 100 champion; Tiana Marshall, the sprint hurdler; Abigail Wolf on 3rd; and Shania Douglas, the 100 champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once more to my channel, and please don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And to my subscribers, thank you so much for your unwavering support, and continue commenting, liking and sharing on the same note. So in today's episode, I'm going to take you through a very fascinating race. It entails athletes from different parts of the world who come to win the gold medal, but the outcome is quite unpredictable. Stay tuned because I'll be back with further insights, and all credit goes to the original broadcaster of this video.
Number 6 with Kylie Wallace, Shatalia Dorset, the 100 bronze medalist; Kaylee Davis and Jemiah Nabi, who anchored them to mixed 4x4 gold last night, anchoring them tonight at 4x100. The British Virgin Islands with Daly Augustine Johnson and Shira Stout. Then Guadeloupe in lane number 3, Ossine Saint-Hilaire, Vanukia, Francois and Melfort. Grenada in lane number 2 with Augustine, Houston, Belfon and Shade John. And Barbados on the inside: Alika Harewood, Anaya Nurse, Shayla Clark and Kadia Rock, the 400 silver medalist. Sabrina Dockery, the Jamaican, false started in the 100 meters. In the final, she's on lead off. .11:08 over the 100 meters. She is very, very fast. That was a long hold, and I can imagine many breaths as well.
They were more nervous than the crowd than the runners.
You hope so. And they go again. Final of the under 20 girls 4x100 relay. In their set positions. Sent off. Dockery got up brilliantly for the Jamaicans. Look at her move away from the Bahamas and close in on Trinidad and Tobago. The Jamaicans make this change successfully. Soleil Frederick running well down the back stretch for Trinidad and Tobago, but Tiana Marshall holding her own for Jamaica. Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago. The Jamaicans slightly ahead. The Bahamians coming through as well. Here they come to the final change. Shania Douglas has the baton, and she is well clear for the black, green and gold. The Bahamians in second. Sanaya Frederick closing fourth for Trinidad and Tobago. Jamaica gold. Bahamas silver. Trinidad and Tobago bronze, 42.93. That is sensational from the Jamaicans. The second time in the history of the Carifta Games, if it holds up, that we will get sub 43 in the 4x100 final. 43.65 it's been adjusted to. It almost seemed too good to be true. It is still a sensational performance, mind you. The Jamaicans deliver on a terrific lead-off leg from Sabrina Dockery.
Second leg, Trinidad and Tobago had started to get closer to the Jamaicans, but after that it was all over really. Jamaica forging ahead in that third leg, but Trinidad and Tobago holding on to get the bronze medal. That's the third straight bronze medal for Trinidad and Tobago in the relays. 2 gold medals so far for Jamaica. Bahamas, a gold and 2 silver medals. Those have been the 3 dominant countries so far in these relays.
The Trinbagonians celebrate the Frederick twins alongside Sierra Joseph and Naomi Theodore. But look at that start from Sabrina Dockery. It's as good a start as you'll see in a 4x100 final. Handing off to Tiana Marshall was a brilliant second leg from Soleil Frederick for Trinidad and Tobago. Abigail Wolf running the third leg for the Jamaicans. Hasn't run yet at these championships, so a first outing for her. The final change not perfect for the Jamaicans, but they were so far ahead, and the 100 champion tearing down the home stretch, desperate for a fast time, 43.65.
Well, for the home interest, Trinidad and Tobago held that second place until the changeover into the last leg. It wasn't the smoothest of changeovers, and that's where Bahamas went ahead to take the silver.
Confirmation, Jamaica winning the under 20 girls 4x100 final, 43.65. Bahamas in second at 44.65, and Trinidad and Tobago the bronze at 44.76. Barbados in fourth at 45.22.
On your marks. Set.
Bronze 2 years ago, but she's even quicker this year. Can she do it against an all-star stellar lineup? She's a massive figure in American track and field, but it's a huge test. Dina Asher-Smith knows what it takes to win this title. She did so 4 years ago in Doha and got a bronze 12 months ago in Eugene. It's been a difficult season for Asher-Smith, but if anyone can rise to the occasion, it is the former champion. What a moment for St. Lucia. What a moment for Julian Alfred. 5th in the 100 meters. She's a Commonwealth silver medalist, the 4th fastest in the world this year. Alfred for St. Lucia, bidding for their first medal. She made the Olympic final a couple of years ago over 100 meters. Daryl Nita is skipping her way into the 200 final. Full of running, full of confidence, and a massive PB for second in the second semi-final. She's now 3rd on the British all-time list.
And finally in lane 6, the defending world champion for Jamaica.
Silver in the 100 meters. Is it going to be gold again for the defending champion, Sharika Jackson? Dan O'Brien next to me. This is just about the best lineup you could ever have for a 200-meter final. This is going to be huge.
Well, and there's so many storylines here. The Jamaicans absolutely ruled the sprints in Eugene last year. Sha'Carri Richardson foiled that again this season. But Sharika Jackson has absolutely looked the best of all these competitors here in the 200 meters. I'll tell you what, keep an eye on Gabby Thomas. She is an absolute star in the makings, and whether she wins gold here or not, she's going to be one of the favorites in Paris next year.
I promise I'm not exaggerating when I say you can almost feel everyone's pulses quicken. That is the sense of expectation here in Budapest. This could be so fast.
And Sha'Carri Richardson has nothing to lose. She just needs to relax.
Richardson, USA 9. Thomas, USA 8. Alfred, St. Lucia in 7. Jackson, defending champion, in 6, Jamaica. Daryl Neita, Great Britain 5. Asher Smith, Great Britain 4. Strawn, Bahamas 3. Tarlou, Cote d'Ivoire in 2. It's been absolutely brilliant in Budapest this week, and it might be about to get even better. 4 athletes in this field have broken 22 seconds this season. In Jackson and Thomas, we have the 2nd and 4th fastest women in history, and outside them, in her lucky lane 9, is the newly crowned 100-meter champion, brimming with confidence and belief. Whoever wins this may have to run very, very close to a 35-year-old world record to do so. This is the women's 200-meter World Championship final. The ultimate final explodes into life. Jackson's going really well in the middle to go with her. But it's Shericka Jackson up here. Watch the clock. This is so fast. Richardson. It's the 2nd fastest time.
So it's sort of just nearing up on the halfway point here in the first Diamond League meeting, and this women's 200 is stacked, starting on the outside with Mackenzie Long of the United States, 2024 triple NCAA gold medalist, made the final in Paris at the Olympic Games and in Tokyo last year. The double Olympic champion over 400 metres, Shawnee Miller-Weibo, is back on the track. She kind of said she'd retired from 400 and 2 children later, and she seems to be trying to figure out if she can be a world-class 200-metre runner. Shericka Jackson is the fastest woman alive, 21:41 to take the world title in Budapest. She was back on the podium with a bronze medal in Tokyo, and she was beaten to the finish line by Amy Hunt of Great Britain that day. It was a breathtaking silver. She's wintered well, personal best over 60 metres. But Hunt will be relishing the opportunity to go up against the likes of Shericka Jackson and this woman, Sha'Carri Richardson, one of the stars of those World Championships in 2023. A gold in the 100 and a bronze in the 200. And she was 5th in Tokyo, despite a pretty disrupted 2025. Anavia Battle goes in lane 4. She won the first 4 Diamond Leagues last year. Backed it up with a 4th place at the World Championships as well. Jenna Prandini has done 22:36 this season already, the fastest in a couple of years. A big part of the US relay squad in the last few years. Chen Yunjia, a 17-year-old, takes lane 2. She's the Asian senior champion last year at the age of just 16. In the lane, in the inside lane, Tori Lewis of Australia, former world junior silver medalist, making great progress as a senior, getting faster with every season. What a treat to have some of the best sprinters in the world at this stage of the season going head-to-head. Anavia Battle, so good at this point last year. Sha'Carri Richardson, so quick over 100. Amy Hunt, the new global medalist. And Shericka Jackson, the fastest woman alive over half a lap. This is the women's 200 metres.
Set.
And they're away in the women's 200 metres. And not much to choose between the athletes in the first 50 metres. Shawnee Miller-Weibo just been caught by Jackson at the moment, but you'd expect that Weibo might come strong in the end with their 400-metre history. Shericka Jackson at the moment slightly ahead of this field. The Jamaican trying to start 2026 off with a win, and she does, 22:07.
My favorite people, welcome back once more to my channel, and please don't forget to subscribe if you're new, If you're fascinated about breathtaking performances, you are at the right place. So today's biggest question is, could the Jamaican speedster take control against a powerful international field? Today we are breaking down an incredible women's 100-meter showdown that brought together some of the fastest athletes in the world. The field features Jamaica's talent alongside competitors from Belgium, Australia, Switzerland, Italy, and the United States. Among the names drawing attention were Jamaica's Ashanti Moore, but the results shown in the footage told a different story, with Nkasa taking the victory, followed by Lewis Del Ponte, Smith Dosso, Clayton Williams, Long, and Van der Wyken. And that's exactly what makes this race fascinating, because on paper everyone has a speed, but once those athletes stepped onto the blocks, reputation disappears. It's about race, time, drive phase, mechanics, and who can maintain velocity when the finish line comes rushing towards them. Look at the athletes settling into their lanes. Every movement is calculated, shoulders relaxed, eyes focused, feet positioned perfectly behind the blocks. The 100 meters is brutally simple: get up fast, transition smoothly, reach maximum velocity, and somehow maintain the speed all the way to the line. For Jamaica, the expectations are always enormous. The island has built one of the most respected sprinting traditions in athletics, and every new generation is expected to carry that legacy forward. But international sprinting is changing. The competition is becoming deeper, younger, and more technically refined. Belgium, Australia, Switzerland, Italy, and the United States and other nations are producing athletes capable of challenging the traditional sprint powers. So this wasn't simply Jamaica versus everybody else. This was a test of who had the most complete 100-meter package. The race started, and then boom, the gun goes off. Immediately the athletes explode from the blocks, and this is where the first major battle begins. The opening 30 meters are all about acceleration. You're looking for powerful shin angles, aggressive arm drive, and rapid force application into the track. Nobody wants to give an inch. As they transition out of the drive phase, the field begins to stretch. Suddenly those tiny differences at the start become visible gaps. And look at the athletes pushing into top speed. This is where sprint mechanics become absolutely critical. The posture rises, the stride opens, and the ground contact time becomes incredibly short. And every athlete is fighting to preserve horizontal velocity. There is no room for hesitation. One slight loss of rhythm can cost several positions. And then comes the finish. Nkasa takes the victory. Lewis follows in the second. Smith finishes fourth, while Dosso takes fifth. Jamaica Clayton comes through in sixth, followed by Williams in seventh. Long finishes in eighth, with Van der Wyken rounding out the field. 10 seconds or so of action and months, sometimes years, of preparation decided in the blink of an eye. Now let's talk about the Jamaican perspective. Finishing 6th and 7th isn't necessarily the headline Jamaican fans wanted, but there's something important happening here. The Jamaican sprint pipeline is not disappearing, it's evolving. The younger generation is stepping into an era where the global standard is becoming increasingly competitive. Athletes can no longer rely purely on raw talent. Modern sprinting demands sophisticated acceleration mechanics, efficient frontside mechanics, strength development, elastic power, races modeling, and the ability to execute under pressure. And that is why races like this matters. Every international final is a classroom. Every lost position exposes something that can be improved, and every victory by another country raises the standard that Jamaica's next generation must chase. Because the future of sprinting isn't going to be decided by history, it's going to be decided by who adapts fastest. Now, what makes this era particularly exciting is the sheer depth of women's sprinting. We are no longer looking at just a handful of dominant nations. We are seeing athletes from different corners of the world entering races with legitimate medal ambitions. That means Jamaica's young sprinters are growing up in an environment where every tenth of a second matters. The difference between winners and finishing outside the podium can be microscopic. Slightly better reaction, a more powerful fast 5 steps, smoother transition into the upright running, better relaxation at maximum velocity, and a stronger final 20 meters. Those details can completely change the result, and that's why the rise of the young sprinters is so important. The next generation isn't simply trying to imitate the champions who came before then. They are developing their own identities, their own technical profiles, and their competitive mentality. The old guard created the blueprint. The new generation is learning how to upgrade it. So what did this race teach us? First, the women's 100 meters is becoming more competitive than ever. And second, Jamaica still has serious sprinting talent, but the international field is getting deeper and faster. And third, the emergence of younger athletes means the next chapter of sprinting could look very different from the one we've known. But don't make the mistake of thinking one result tells the entire story. Sprinting development is a process. One race can reveal weakness, another can reveal breakthroughs. And sometimes the athlete who finishes 6th today is the athlete standing on top of the podium tomorrow. That's what makes the athletics so unpredictable. That's what makes the 100 meters so addictive, and that's why we should keep watching this new generation of sprinters, because the future isn't waiting, it's already on the track. And the question isn't whether new sprinters are coming, they are already here. The real question is who will rise to become the next global sprinting sensation. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next explosive sprint battle could be even faster. Let's ensure to subscribe, my good people, and thank you so much for watching today. See you till the next video.